Welcome back to ZNGP today. Marc Marquez admitted the competition is tightening as he ended Friday practice at the Italian GP third fastest, just 0.043s off brother Alex Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia. Despite Mugello traditionally being a weaker venue for the 8-time world champion, he left day one in high spirits, confirming he's close to his key rivals, and not just in lap time. After an up-and-down opening day at his home Grand Prix, Francesco Pecco Bagnaia rediscovered his Mugello mojo with a late tire switch that transformed his Friday practice. Despite early handling gremlins on his Ducati Desmosedici GP25, and ended the day second fastest, thanks to one decisive setup tweak. In an exclusive pit lane sit-down during the Italian GP weekend, Dall'Igna peeled back the curtain on Ducati's current blueprint, from the blockbuster signing of Marc Marquez to the technical and strategic challenges that lie ahead under Pirelli's 2027 tire regime. Here's how the Venetian engineer views his star riders, his machinery, and the future of the championship. A crash and a finicky ride height device cost Jack Miller automatic entry into Saturday's Q2 at Mugello, while Miguel Oliveira narrowly missed out by 0.125s, despite both Pramac Yamahas showing strong pace on Friday. Team director Gino Borso believes the pair have what it takes to fight back through Q1 and into the top 10. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marquez was all smiles in his new Ducati Red, but he quickly reminded everyone that Mugello demands fresh focus. It was a good day, solid day, it's not Aragon anymore. 2 weeks ago, Marquez was untouchable at Motorland. Here, the familiar margin of dominance has vanished. He knows Bagnaia and Alex are razor close in both pace and circuit knowledge, and he'll need every fraction saved to stay in contention as practice and qualifying progress. All three Ducati factory riders sampled a revised fairing at Mugello, but with mixed commitment. Marquez's brief outings hinted at promise, while Bagnaia sat out due to set up gremlins, and Di Giannantonio logged most of Friday on the new bodywork. The bike balance is changing a bit with that new aero. We believe there is good potential. The team's message was clear: gather data now for future updates. Marc must decide whether to persevere with the altered aero, risking setup confusion, or revert to the proven spec. Championship leaders often play it safe, but Marquez's characteristic boldness may push him toward innovation. Unlike Aragon's fast-flowing layout, Mugello is a relentless mix of high-speed straights and undulating S's, a track that has historically humbled the Spaniard, despite his global legend. Friday's practice reaffirmed that while Marquez adapts quickly, Bagnaia's home advantage and Alex's all-round speed pose a real threat. The trio's lap times, separated by less than half a tenth, underscore just how narrow the margin for error will be this weekend. Sharing the paddock with his brother adds extra spice, and complicated data exchanges. Marquez knows Alex's lines and Bagnaia's braking markers better than most, but that doesn't guarantee an edge when the field is so compressed. Marc's openness to using both brothers' telemetry highlights Ducati's collaborative spirit and the intense internal competition. Being in sync with your rivals technically can be as crucial as outright pace. As practice 2 looms, Marquez must choose: stick with the new aero or fall back on a known setup. Strategy aside, his Friday performance proves he can mix it with the Italian duo, but only if he remains adaptable. Marquez finished the day feeling good, but readiness to pivot will define his weekend. With Bagnaia on home soil and Alex in hot form, Ducati's championship leader needs both speed and savvy to keep his title dreams on track. Mugello's crowd, its storied uphill run to turn 1, and the home hopes of Bagnaia ensure that Marc Marquez's perfect Aragon momentum will be tested. But if Friday's times are any indication, the championship leader is more than capable of matching Ducati's Italian charges, so long as he remembers, this is Mugello, not Aragon. Bagnaia's bid for a four-peat at Mugello got off to a rocky start. In FP1, the Italian complained of unsettling chassis behavior that left him hunting for grip and consistency. This morning I was a bit upset because the bike was making weird movements, so I was not understanding it. Those unexplained shifts undermined his confidence through the high-speed curves, preventing any meaningful evaluation of the new aero parts Ducati brought from Aragon. Understanding the anomaly became Bagnaia's top priority. FP2 brought its own puzzle. The rear tire felt unusually low on traction, compounding the morning's mystery movements and threatening to derail Bagnaia's typical time attack pace. This afternoon, the rear grip was very low but in a strange way, so I wasn't understanding what was happening. With Michelin's soft and medium options both under scrutiny, Bagnaia and his crew raced against the clock to pinpoint the cause, tire performance or bike balance, before the crucial qualifying simulation. In a bold move, Ducati elected to fit a fresh soft compound rear tire for Bagnaia's final run. The effect was immediate and dramatic. Stability returned and lap times tumbled. "We just changed the rear tire, we put a new soft, and everything changed and everything was fantastic." Bagnaia's confidence surged back to 2025 Aragon levels. The once elusive rear grip locked in, allowing him to push the GP25 harder through the corners and nail the late benchmark laps that lifted him to P2. Because the morning's handling issues demanded attention, Bagnaia passed on the chance to evaluate Ducati's reintroduced Aragon test fairing. Stability took precedence over aero experimentation. It was more important to understand what was happening with the bike than trying the new fairing. With no clear baseline to compare the updated bodywork, Bagnaia wisely deferred, reserving the aero test for when the chassis behavior is fully dialed in. Bagnaia's final time attack stint encapsulated the turnaround smooth, fast, and fuel correct on the soft rear. He ended FP2 only a few tenths off Marc Marquez's top time, an encouraging sign for qualifying and the races ahead. During the time attack, with the soft rear, everything was similar to Aragon's Sunday. I was able to push quite hard, everything was super smooth. That late session flourish reinforced Bagnaia's belief that Mugello's magic remains intact, and that, with the right tire strategy, he can once again challenge for victory in front of his passionate home crowd. A day of handling headaches turned into a morale-boosting Friday for Pecco Bagnaia, all hinging on one tire call. With confidence restored and his GP25 back in harmony, the reigning champion will head into Mugello qualifying poised and primed to extend his Tuscan winning streak. When Ducati courted Marc Marquez, many wondered if it was a defensive ploy to neutralize a feared rival. Dall'Igna insists it was purely about assembling the grid's two best talents under one roof, a calculated bet that, so far, has paid off handsomely. The goal we had at Ducati was to have the two best riders currently on the grid on the internal team. Telemetry and instinct convinced Ducati that Marc's blend of raw speed and racercraft complemented Pecco Bagnaia's precision. Even if the move had faltered, Dall'Igna quips, the margin for error was slim. "If we were wrong, we weren't that wrong." Behind the headline-grabbing results, Dall'Igna portrays Marquez as an engineer's dream, deeply analytical, motivational, and collaborative, far from the difficult star some imagined. He's an extremely intelligent person. He knows how to behave, what he needs to do to improve, and he also knows how to be with his teammates. That intelligence enables rapid setup evolution, turning Marquez's candid feedback into immediate gains. For a team juggling two alpha riders, Marc's professionalism has been a unifying force in the Ducati garage. Despite whispers of a major Desmosedici leap from the GP24, Dall'Igna says Ducati opted for evolution over revolution, refining the existing package to safeguard reliability and rider confidence. "We prefer to stick with the original package rather than risk homologations that might not be perfect." That cautious stance has coincided with Bagnaia's strongest start ever, more points by Mugello than during his title campaign. Dall'Igna attributes it to Pecco's resilience and a bike base that, while familiar, still allows customizable rider aids. Looking beyond 2025, Ducati's biggest challenge may come from rubber, not aerodynamics. With Pirelli replacing Michelin in 2027, the change in casing and compound will reshape race strategies and machine balance. The tires will undoubtedly be the main change, everything else will take a back seat. Ducati is already modeling SBK-style profiles closer to Pirelli's domain. The shift promises a fresh engineering battleground, one Dall'Igna welcomes as an opportunity to redefine chassis design and electronics mapping. While Marc and Pecco headline Ducati's present, the team's pipeline includes Toprak Razgatlioglu at Pramac and protégé Nicolo Bilega in the wings. Both bring unique strengths, but also adaptation curves. Toprak is difficult to evaluate. He's beaten us many times, so he's absolutely outstanding. Dall'Igna values Toprak's raw speed but cautions on his MotoGP learning curve. With Bilega, a measured integration under test guru Michel Piro's eye aims to cultivate the next factory star without haste. As MotoGP evolves under Liberty Media, Dall'Igna hopes the series will mirror Formula One's rise, expanding its global footprint while preserving its visceral appeal. I hope MotoGP takes the leap that F1 did. It's more beautiful than F1, if we can show it to a non-fan audience. For Ducati, success isn't just championships. It's growing the sport's popularity. With 2 marquee champions and a robust tech strategy, Dall'Igna believes Ducati is positioned not just to win races, but to help MotoGP capture a wider audience. From marquee signings to tire revolutions, Gigi Dall'Igna remains the architect behind Ducati's relentless rise. As 2025 unfolds and 2027 looms, his vision combines measured evolution, talent cultivation, and a quest to elevate MotoGP's global spectacle, one winning lap at a time. Miller looked on course for direct Q2 qualification after turning the 11th fastest lap in FP1. But a final corner crash in FP2 put him 13th overall, 0.807s off Maverick Vinales' pace, blunting his momentum and damaging his spare M1. "I'm sorry about the crash. It definitely affected the good work we've been doing. Thankfully I didn't injure myself, just took a hit to the butt, which is odd since I landed more face first." Miller's statement. With only the top 10 securing straight Q2 slots, Miller now faces the gauntlet of Q1. Borsa remains optimistic. His pace from this morning suggests he can fight his way through Q1 tomorrow. Switching to his backup bike, Miller encountered a persistent ride height sensor fault, another setback that, combined with his crash, cost valuable tenths. On the second bike, we had a small issue with the ride height device not working properly, which also cost us something. Miller has nonetheless identified a clear path forward. If we can fix that one small problem, and the guys in the box already have a few ideas, I think we can do well. He stressed that braking feel remains the final frontier, even as stability and traction have markedly improved. Oliveira ended the day 11th, just outside Q2, after FP2 laps that came within 0.125s of the top 10. While encouraged by his pace, he admitted front-end uncertainty at corner entry hampered his ability to carry speed. "Being so close to the top 10 was a good sign, the speed was there, but I missed a couple of lines as I wasn't completely comfortable with the front," Oliveira said. Looking ahead to Q1, Oliveira intends to exploit the M1's braking strengths. "Tomorrow we need to focus on maximizing what the bike does best, braking, and hopefully use that to our advantage." Gino Borsa praised Oliveira's resurgence after a difficult spell and backed Miller's comeback prospects. "Miguel seems to have fully recovered his speed and continues to improve race after race. We still have a few things to refine for tomorrow, but we're not far off," Borsa's statement. With Yamaha factory riders Quartararo and Rins already securing Q2 berths, the spotlight falls on Pramac's duo to pull off a 1-2 fight back through Saturday's early session. Friday's misfortune has set Jack Miller and Miguel Oliveira a steeper mountain to climb, yet both riders showcase the raw pace necessary to conquer it. As Mugello's Q1 looms, Pramac Yamaha's challenge is clear: convert that speed into clean, qualifying laps and earn a spot in the coveted Q2 shootout. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!